everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Words. I'm Jen, I'm a speech pathologist, and today I'm going to be sharing more tools that can help us reduce anxiety, reduce stress, ease with transitions, and help your child become more independent and have more structure at home. So I already made a video talking about visual schedules, but I'd like to talk about a few more tools that we can use that we can even pair with visual schedules to help with our kids. I already spoke about in that video some benefits, but I will repeat some of them because a lot of these tools have the same benefits for your children. This helps a lot with easing transitions from one activity to the next. A lot of times it's hard for our children to move from a preferred activity to a non-preferred activity. It also helps with creating structure. It helps a child to know what's expected of them. And it helps really prevent meltdowns, and it helps your child increase their compliance. So I know during this time of remote learning, it's hard for us as parents to make our children do their work, complete their work. Hopefully these tools will help you with that. A lot of children, especially those who are on the autism spectrum, those who have sensory processing disorder, ADHD, and even children that don't have these developmental disabilities, children who are just very young, they're not mature yet, they may have difficulty moving from a non-preferred activity to a preferred activity, and even vice versa. So we're going to talk about first visual timer. A lot of times young children, they can't understand the concept of time, and they don't know how long they have to participate in a non-preferred activity. How much longer is this going to take? So visual timers are great tools to show the child how much longer they have to participate in a specific task. So before, in my visual schedule video, I spoke about how a child would have to finish a book. Well, that is a little easier. They know that when the book is over, that's when the book activity is finished. But let's say they are playing with toys and the next activity is going to be cleanup. Well, moving away from play is going to be very difficult for them. So we want to let them know exactly what is expected of them. How much time do they have left to play before they have to move on to the next activity? You never want to abruptly remove a child from an activity. That's just going to create a lot of anxiety for them, and we want to keep them calm. So we're going to give them a visual timer. So we could say, you have 5 minutes to play before we have to clean up. So let's say, I'm going to show you the visual timer that I use. I use one that's on my phone. It's a free app, so anybody can download it, and I'll show you those in a second. But my visual timer app looks like this. You could set how long you need. So let's say we say, okay, you have 5 minutes to play, and then we're going to clean up. And you always want to verbalize and show your child the visual so that they know what's expected of them. Repetition is great. So we say 5 minutes for play, and then we clean up. Okay, you have 5 minutes for toys, and then clean up. So again, I'm going to press the 5-minute mark, and I'm going to press start. So now your child gets to see visually how much time they have left. To a young child or to children who have cognitive challenges, they might not understand what 5 minutes means, right? So this shows them. I'm just going to speed it up here for the purposes of the video. So as the child is running out of time, it becomes red. You could count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all done. So they are preparing to end that activity. They are given enough time to prepare themselves and to process what is needed for them. So that's the app. There are tons of apps online. I just typed here into my web browser, visual timer apps for kids, and a bunch of these came up. So this one is the one that I use with a little duck. You can always change the picture. Pick a picture that's exciting to them. The kids love to see what's hiding, and they get excited, and they have ducks, they have monsters, they have cars. You'll hear like a beep, beep, beep when it's all done. So pick something exciting for your child. These are other apps that I don't use, but they look great as well. You can also buy a physical visual timer for them, something where they see the time running out, or they hear the sound when the time's over. It could even be one of those sand timers. So next I'm going to be talking about first then boards. First then boards pair great with visual timers and with visual schedules as well. So say the visual schedule can be a little overwhelming to your child. They have a lot of pictures here. Say you're using a visual schedule for the entire daily routine. Well, a first then board helps break that up a little bit. So let's say your child, we're working on just getting from one activity to the next. This creates more support. So here I have on my first then board, I just have one box that says first, the second box that says then. Now this is very concrete. The child sees what's expected of them before they get to their desired activity or item. So first I have here picture cards. So let's say I expect my child to identify picture cards, or maybe their task is to answer questions about pictures. I'm putting it on my first board. Then I allow my child to pick a reinforcer. What activity do they really want to participate in? What is that motivating item or activity for them? So say my child picks the trampoline. They want to jump on the trampoline. So I'm gonna show them this first then board, and I'm going to verbalize and point to the pictures and say, okay, first we have to do pictures and then trampoline. Remember, first we're doing pictures and then the trampoline. If your child becomes frustrated, they're trying to engage in escape behaviors, avoidance behaviors, you can always reference back to this and say, I know we're almost done. We're gonna get trampoline, but first we have to finish pictures. Now let's talk about how we can pair the visual timer with the first then board. Your child might not know how many more pictures they need or how much longer this activity is going to take. Let's say we want them to sit for 3 minutes looking at pictures. So again, we could put the visual timer on. We can reference both. We could say, okay, we're gonna look at pictures for 3 minutes and then you can jump on the trampoline. So now you're gonna pair it together. You're gonna show them the visual timer, put the timer on, put it on the side. You could take the sound off if you want so that it's just visual for them. And you can reference them back. Look, we're almost done. When the timer is all done, then you get trampoline. Let's go finish our pictures. So constantly reminding them verbally and pointing to the pictures to give them that visual cue is really going to help them know what's expected of them. Let's say we want your child to sit through a certain amount of trials or to look at a certain amount of pictures. This is where we can now introduce token boards. So token board is an alternative that we can use, and I'm going to show you some different ways we can do this. So here's an example of a token board. Here I just have trains. I made this for a child who really loves trains, so this is motivating in itself. I would have pictures that I can paste on here or Velcro on different trains, and I could say, okay, we have to complete 6 pictures and then we can get our trampoline. So again, I'm gonna pair them. Okay, first we're gonna do pictures. We're gonna do 6 pictures and then trampoline. When Bobby gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures, then we get to jump on the trampoline. 6 is a funny number. This I had made for a specific child. You may want to use 5, you may want to use 10. If your child is very young, or if your child is not yet used to structure and they really need a lot of support and their frustration tolerance is low, well, maybe they only have to complete 3 trials, or maybe 2, or maybe even 1. It's okay if your child can only sit through 1 trial of something. With that, we would give them immediate reinforcement. So let's say I'm gonna switch this off. I'm gonna take out the trampoline. I have some other visuals here of reinforcers. Say your child really loves their toy school bus. So now I'm gonna put the school bus visual on the first then board. So we have first, we're gonna look at pictures, and then we're gonna play with school bus. So they know that they're gonna get that reinforcing activity, but first we have to complete some trials. I don't have a 1 token board here, but let's just pretend this has only 1 circle on it. Your child is gonna know we do 1 picture and then you get bus. 1 picture and then bus. So we give them 1 picture, we tell them touch bathtub, we're having them identify common nouns. Touch bathtub, They touch the bathtub, you give them the token, they put it on, amazing. Now you get the bus. So we're immediately reinforcing them with that bus. The goal is, of course, to have your child work up to complete more trials of something, have their attention increase, have their tolerance for structured activities increase, but this is a great way to work on it. You can also use different types of token boards. So token boards can be, you don't have to have a laminator, you don't have to have Velcro, none of this. We can make it so simple. You can literally draw on a piece of paper 5 boxes with a marker, with a pen, whatever you have on hand. You can use a marker if you have a dot marker to add tokens. You can just create an X in the box and they get to see how many boxes are left. If you want, you can use something like this where the boxes are empty. So once you fill the box with something, it could be, again, an X, you could color it in, they get to see how many are left. It's really a great tool because the children know what's expected of them, just like with the timer. They don't have the question of how long do I have to sit and wait here? Or how many more trials do I have to sit through doing this? It really reduces frustration because you can show them. Say they get 1 token, you say, oh, you only need 3 more, and then you're gonna get the bus. They get the second token, you're doing amazing. You only need to get 2 more pictures and then you get your bus. So constantly reminding them of that really helps with compliance. Going back to this one, sometimes I use Play-Doh to help or to represent a token board. So I might do a Play-Doh smash. If your child likes the feeling of Play-Doh, if it helps calm them, you could add that sensory component to your token boards, and you can have these circles laid out, and you could say, okay, we have to smash all 6 circles with Play-Doh in order to get what you want, in order to jump on the trampoline, in order to have your bus, in order to play with ball. So then you roll up a small piece of Play-Doh, you give it to your child, they can put it right here, and then you can count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, smash! That's something that kids really love to do. It adds that tactile sensory component, and it just adds more fun for them. So after they smash however many trials you need, or however many tasks you need them to complete, then they know, okay, I'm gonna get my reward. Another type of token system might be, for instance, I made this out of an old cracker box, or you can make these out of tissue boxes. Printed out a picture of a bear, that's his mouth, I cut out a little hole, and adding more fun to it. The child gets to feed the bear different foods. So you could say, all right, again, let's refer back to our first then board. Okay, you have to feed the bear 4 pieces of food, and we're gonna do 4 pictures, and then you can get your bus. So you can show them what they have to feed the bear. They get to visually see how many trials they have. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bear's so hungry. First, we have to feed the bear before you can get your bus. So then they take a piece of food, they put it in the bear's mouth, yum, 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 yum. You can make it very fun for them. And then they see, oh, I only have 3 more, and then I get the bus. So really, it's just about having the child really know what's expected of them. And this is going to help so much with moving from a non-preferred activity to a preferred activity. The way that we get all of our children to complete tasks and do things that maybe they don't really want to do, we have to always think about the reward or the reinforcer. Let's follow a non-preferred activity with something that's really fun for them. Sometimes that's not going to happen. Sometimes we have to move from a non-preferred activity. Sometimes we have to move from a preferred activity to a non-preferred. For instance, moving away from play. So it would be the same thing. The child really wants to play with the dollhouse, but then after that we have to clean up, and your child does not want to clean up. They want to continue playing, and if it was up to them, they would play all day. Well, this is another way we can work through this dilemma. We can use a first then board and show them, okay, first we're gonna play with toys, and then we have to clean up. So again, you can use a visual timer. You have 5 more minutes to play. Let's put the timer on for you. Okay, when this is all done, when timer is all done, we have to clean up. But these visuals help so much to create the structure, create the predictability, and really remove that stress. Just before we go, I wanted to show you one more thing, because I'm filming these videos during the pandemic, and a lot of us are home. working with our children. A lot of our children are getting therapy via video sessions. If you have older children, they're doing remote learning via Google Classroom and things like that. If you're having trouble with your child completing their homework or completing their activities, or even sitting down and attending to their therapy sessions, there are some resources online that are digital. So I found there's a website called boomlearning.com, B-O-O-M learning.com. And a lot of us therapists and professionals are using these websites because they can be shared through our video sessions. As we use a hard copy of a token board, we can also use a virtual token board. So I found these to be really helpful. Here you can see it says I'm working for. If your child can read, you could type in what they're working for. And I chose cupcakes. They have different options. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can show your child, okay, we're gonna do 5 pictures, or we're gonna follow 5 directions, and then we get to listen to a song, or we get to have a dance break. So as they complete each direction or each trial, sorry, I'm using my left hand, the child gets to see that they get tokens added. And again, as they get each token, remind them, you have 2 tokens. Now we only need 1, 2, 3 more, and then we get to have a song break. Once your child gets all 5, they can see what that they're all done, and then you can have that reinforcer ready for them. I just thought that this was a really good resource to have at this time. These are not things that you have to make very fancy. You can take a pen and a paper, draw them yourself. You can take pictures. You could take pictures of your child actually performing these activities. You could take pictures of their own toys and put them on the then board for the reinforcer. For the token boards, you can draw 5 boxes on a piece of paper, use a marker to color them in, use whatever you have at home, but try them out. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I hope that this was helpful.